Hi, welcome to the video. My name's Dychronic, and today we're taking a look at the Destiny 2 Weekly Reset for September 20th, 2022. And the only special thing going on this week is going to be that the King's Fall raid now has a Master difficulty. And if you thought at normal 1550 Master would be around 1580, 1590, you'd be wrong, because Master is at 1600. And furthermore, King's Fall now has challenges. Beyond that, the modifiers seem pretty standard, although I assume the mechanics are maybe modified like they were in the Prestige difficulty in D1. Moving on, let's go ahead and get started with the Nightfall Ordeal. This week, it's going to be the Exodus Crash. Boy, we love Exodus Crash, don't we? It's such a fun mission. When it comes to 100k, you probably have to go with Legend difficulty. The rotating Vanguard playlist is going to be Void Singe. I wonder why there's a Witch Queen symbol here. It says on the Vanguard Ops. The rotating Crucible playlist is going to be Team Scorched. As for the rotating dungeon and raid, the dungeon is the Shattered Throne, and the raid is going to be Vow Disciple. Moving on to the Eververse Store. Ooh, again, this ornament looks sick. If only I ever used Dome anymore. For the Bright Dust option, first of all, we got an emote that looks like Looking Out. You look through the thing, it's pretty straightforward. We have an ornament for the Telesto, which is not often the besto, but sometimes absolutely breaks the game-o. Following that, a Ghost Projection, and of course the shader Abyssian Gold, which ironically doesn't have any gold in it, just a whole lot of brown. As for the other Bright Dust section, first up an emote called the Feast of Feelings, which I assume you're eating some ice cream. we have a ghost shell, which is going to be that flaming ghost shell we saw from a couple seasons ago, or at least last season. We have the August Courser, which is an arrival sparrow that looks like this. We have the ornament for the Armamentarium that turns your grenades into those falling grenades, which is kind of cool, although I use in most of the time. And of course an ornament for the Symmetry, which looks extremely clean. This looks beautiful, actually. We have a Ghost Projection. We have some transmit effects, including a Harpy Entrance. We have a Vex Invasion. We have a Hive Arrival. Of course, we have a bunch of shaders, including the Trinity shader. Not so sure about the green in the pelvis region, but you know, it seems like it could work on certain things. We have a 30th anniversary Smudge Pop Bruise, which actually looks pretty good and looks really nice on weapons. Nice little black and silver there. We have the Copper Brand, have used sometimes, but somewhat copper, if you assume, and Rustberry, which I'm not a big fan of. Definitely like Bloody Tooth and War Brick a lot better, but it's very similar. Oh, and the ship. I actually just passed right over the ship. The Canoptus is just one of those paper airplane looking ships. Up next, let's take a look at these seasonal challenges for week 5. And as you can tell, I've been very good at doing all of my challenges. First one is 5th Relic to the Helm and defeating Powerful Fallen. Expedition Treasure and Champions. Summoning Crewmates and Medium Treasure Beacon. Not sure what that is. Defeating targets with Scout Rifles and Shatter Damage. My favorite. Well, the Shatter is. Acquire the Cry Mutiny, which is a ++, and that's going to be the new grenade launcher from any of the vendors. Defeating Guardians and Crucible, bonus with Arc or Stasis, and that is a ++. And defeating Cabal and Fallen in Strikes or Vanguard playlists, and this is also a ++. Oh, Captain, my Captain. And of course we have Banshees Inventory, taking a look at the different roles he has available. First up, we have the Reginald D. Auto-loading Demolitionist is okay for PvE, definitely something that can help. We also have Assault Mag and Full Choke and Handling, making it, in my opinion, one of the better roles to actually have in PvE. Although a lot of people like the 1-2 punch here, depends if you have a good melee. And furthermore, it is craftable, but this is a pretty darn good role. After that, we have the Pizzicato, which is a pugilist, ambitious assassin, which is not a bad role to have on an SMG. And keep in mind, it's an adaptive frame, not a lightweight, and some otherwise pretty good stats, although I'd like to see range in this slot instead. Following that, we have the Snorri FR5. High impact and surplus. It's actually a good combination on this weapon. Has a ranged masterwork. Does have liquid coils, which I actually prefer because it's more impact, and chamber compensator. Again, a pretty good role on a precision frame, and precision frames are still one of the dominant forces in the Crucible. We have the Gailu RR3, which steady hands harmony. I believe this can have snapshot on it, and it's usually preferred option, otherwise just kind of meh. After that, a Palindrome B Impulse and Explosive Light, which is a very good role, and it has impact casing with a reload masterwork, and of course Impulse makes your reload speed faster. Overall, this is an excellent role. The only thing I would say is that you can technically get auto-loading here, which I prefer, although Impulse and reload masterwork does handle it pretty well. And of course the fact that it can be crafted and you can get enhanced perks. And finally, the GL5, a Chill Clip Genesis. Chill Clip being a very nice perk, although it can get explosive light, and it can also have spike grenades, so not the best, but not bad. And of course, a huge thank you to my patrons on Patreon. Specifically, a big thank you to Mom, Dad, Pestilence, Box World, Mighty City Buckiness, Unipanther, Case the Rag, and for their support on Patreon. And that's it. Hope you guys did enjoy. My name is Dychronic, and I'll see you guys on the next one.